Welcome to another episode of Mexican in the Kitchen. Here I have a handful of chicken feet and I'm going to try a new recipe I just saw online and I think it has a lot of potential. Depending on where you buy your chicken feet, they might come clean or not. As you can see, these are not clean, they still have the claws, so you have to cut them off. I do these with a knife. I've seen people use scissors, completely up to you, just aim for the articulation and it will be quite easy. Once we got rid of the claws, we're going to still make another cut. This cut will start on the palm and it will go all the way down. The reason is the size difference between the palm and the fingers. We want everything to cook evenly, so we just make this cut and it will make everything easier. This way we make sure we don't get uncooked spots on the thicker part. Once I'm done cleaning the chicken feet, I will set those aside and I will start cleaning this ginger. This piece of ginger is about 40 grams and I don't want to be super precise. I'm just going to clean it quite roughly. All I want to do is get rid of the external layer. I'm being quite quick, but if you want to be more precise, of course you can do it. If you would like to peel the ginger without losing a lot of the pulp, I think a spoon is the easiest way. You just scrap everything away. At this point, I'm just getting some slices. I'm going to set this aside and then I will continue. On the stove, I have a pot with some water. It's on a 7 out of 9, so medium-high fire. I'm waiting for this to start boiling, but at this point I'm going to throw the ginger in there. I will also add some salt and I will wait until it starts boiling. After a while, my water is boiling already, so I'm going to drop my chicken feet in there. At this point, I'm setting up a timer. I'm waiting for 10 minutes. You want to make sure you only boil them for 10 minutes, otherwise you might overcook them and they will just start falling apart. Chicken feet have been boiling now for 10 minutes and they look cooked already. I don't know if you can tell, but also the broth has a lot of color in just 10 minutes. I'm not using this broth for anything right now, but you could add some vegetables and make a soup, and you can also use it just as chicken stock for some other recipe. Chicken feet have a lot of collagen, so they will make a very rich broth. The reason why I'm picking the chicken one by one is because I don't want to get too much water into my bowl, but you can also just strain the whole thing. My chicken feet are on a bowl, and I'm going to start with the seasoning. I'm starting of course with some salt. I will add some garlic powder. I don't use these very often, but I'm adding some white pepper, a bit of paprika for it to bring some smoky flavor and also to give some color. I will add a bit of sriracha for it to be a bit spicy and also have a bit of acidity. I will finish these with a splash of soy sauce, and in retrospective, maybe take it a bit easy with the salt if you're also adding some soy sauce. All we need to do now is mix them nicely. We want the chicken feet to be coated completely, so that's why I'm using my hands. You can of course toss them around. You can also just mix them with a spoon or something, but I think this is the easiest way and the quickest as well. We want to make sure all the ingredients have mixed evenly. For finishing my chicken feet, I'm using an air fryer. In my case, I have these trays for it. You might have a basket, just use whatever you have. The way you want to cook these chicken feet in an air fryer is the same way you would cook anything else. You want them to have some space between each other. You also want them not to be on top of each other. This way we will manage to get them crispy and they will all cook evenly. In my case, I just did a handful of chicken feet and they will fit nicely for my air fryer. In case you did a bit more, it's better to do a few rounds rather than stuffing them, because otherwise you might not get the nice crispiness that we are looking for. Once the chicken feet are in place, I'm going to spray them with some oil. I have this spray bottle I use for oil for the air fryer. If you don't have that, you can also use a baking brush and just brush them a bit with some oil. All we have to do now is take our chicken feet to the air fryer. I'm going to close the door. I will set my air fryer to 195 Celsius, that's 383 Fahrenheit. I will set it for 12 minutes and then I'm just going to wait. Once the chicken feet are ready, you can immediately see the color. I think they get a really nice rotisserie chicken kind of color. It looks beautiful. I cannot wait to try this. I know for some of you this might be a bit weird, but I'm sure you can agree this looks crispy and juicy. Personally, I would serve them just on a plate on the middle of the table. This is one of those snacks that doesn't really need much other than just placing them on a nice plate. You can also have some chicken wing sauce. You can also have some hot sauce next to it. Completely up to you how you want to serve them. This is the end result with this chicken feet. To be honest, I'm very surprised. This is something you can get sometimes from the rosticeries in Mexico. They're very cheap. They're a very quick snack, very easy. Here, I know in Finland it's not very common. I've gotten a few comments from people when I cook this kind of thing. I usually use these for soups. They make really nice chicken broth. especially when I'm coming down with a flu or something. Then I always make some soup. I usually have a bag or a tiny amount in the freezer for that. But I saw this recipe online. I had to try it. This is really nice. It's surprisingly similar in the way they smell to chicken wings. That's why I really liked it. If you think about it, chicken wings were not too popular a few years back, you know. I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, it was the part of the chicken that nobody wanted. And now they're a huge thing. The value or the cost of them increased quite a lot. I remember those were super cheap. We used to order, 100 wings and we paid a couple dollars. And nowadays, well, you cannot get wings for a couple dollars probably anywhere. But this is really nice. I think the texture is great. This, I'm guessing it's going to be a bit chewy, especially the skin, because this has a lot of gelatin and this kind of like, that's why it's good for the soups, because it gets this sticky kind of like texture. Is supposed to be really good for the skin, for the body, for the hair, the nails, everything. I'm gonna try this because honestly I haven't tried this before. Yeah, as I said, the skin is very crunchy. It reminds me of the tip of the wing, when you have the wing and you don't remove the last part of the three parts. That's exactly this texture and that's exactly this flavor. And personally, on rotisserie chickens, I think that's the best flavor or the best part of the chicken. I honestly would recommend this. It's very cheap. You can get this chicken feet usually on your Asian stores. If you want a snack that's different, especially if you're, watching a game or you're just having some people over, you want something that is going to for sure give people something to talk about. This is one of those that you should definitely try. Look at the, it doesn't have a lot of meat to eat. As I said, it's a bit like a chicken wing, where the whole thing is that you're a bit entertained, you're cleaning a bit the bones. This will get messy. It's the kind of snack that you just dig in. You don't care about being messy. The texture is similar to the chicken wings, a bit greasy, but honestly, I'm surprised. Hope you like the video. Press like, subscribe, activate the bell, all those kind of things, and see you in the next one.